Live. Hello, folks. Welcome back to the live stream chat. Thanks for joining me. As you can see back here behind me is the beautiful Portland West Hills here. And the leaves are, well, they're autumn leaves now. So I thought it'd be appropriate, and the song I always go back to for my students, like year round, is Autumn Leaves. And today's specific topic is comping in chords. And I'm calling it a masterclass because I'm going to walk you through a lot of different concepts. And I'm going to ask if you have any questions, I'll answer them too, if I can help you. So grab the PDFs, tabs, and all that stuff from Patreon. It's in the link is in the description. You can also just purchase that link. I don't know if you all know that. If you're not a Patreon member, you can individually purchase my the links, or sorry, the post, I can't think of that word, that has the materials. So that's pretty much, I'm trying to get through, I have over 5,000 posts on Patreon, and I'm slowly working my way through that to make them all available for purchase. And they're all going to be for purchase hopefully soon. So if you're not wanting to join Patreon on a monthly, you can also just purchase my posts individually. Keith, welcome. Hope all is going well. Well, you guys, how are you with Autumn Leaves? We're going to talk about some comping and some chords and some demonstrations on some various concepts, starting with the really very, very most basic part, what I call the grip chords. Okay, that's doing this stuff. It's very basic, but very important. So if you're backing up somebody, love falling leaves drift by my window. Let me see if you can see my fingers. Of red and gold. I like E7 here. I see your lips. And these are a combination of drop 3 and drop 2 voicings. I just generally call them grip chords because they're the most important chords to know on the 6th, 5th, and 4th string roots. And that's basically, you'll have drop 3 if you're on the 6th string, and then drop 2 voicing if you're on the 5th or 4th strings. So definitely check out the PDFs that's attached, because it goes through that whole routine. I'm not going to spend time doing that. I've got so many videos where I just walk you through the routine. Today I want to talk about some subs. Of course you want to be able to just comp through that song. So what I recommend for practicing is, and some of you might not like it, but iReal Pro. So I would just put it on. Let's see if you can hear that okay. I think I have my Alexa hooked up today too.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Oh, there she is. I said she. I can't hold it and play at the same time. But you can just... Welcome, Graham. This is the best practice you can do right now, unless you have a real band behind you. Since you went away, the days grow long. Soon I'll hear a winter song. But I miss you most of all, my darling. That's Tritone sub. We'll talk about that. When all the leaves start to fall. So you'll notice that the piano is quite busy, it sounds great that, for what it is. It's not a real band interacting. I also love the Jamie Aebersold series too. If you guys are anybody familiar, I can't see your hands. Raise your hands. If you're familiar with Jamie Aebersold, that's kind of what I grew up practicing with in college. A lot of the Aebersold books, so they're really great because they have really great musicians playing the backing track. Obviously they're not improvising with you, but you can really listen to the comping, the rhythms, and all that stuff. So that's another aspect. I do, again, also have a comping worksheet with various rhythms, and I have that on there, so you can check out. I mean, I have it on the link if you want to grab it in the description. If somebody can copy it and paste the link, that Patreon link, so others can go to there and get it, that'd be awesome. I'm not going to take time to do that, but it's in the description too. Let me say hello to Yukon, Jeffrey, and Joel. Welcome. Noah and Abersol. Yeah, Abersol, they're really great. You'll hear I have some videos where I'm playing with Abersol, and I need to do more of those because I think those are really useful. But pretty much everybody uses iReal Pro these days. So again, that's what I recommend. I was just using those basic grip chords. That's 101 right there. Keith, you do? Yeah. So here I go again. I'm just going to push play. This is medium swing. I'll go through it once. Basic grip chords. The piano kind of gets in the way. You're kind of competing with the piano. So what you can do with iReal Pro, what I like to do is get rid of the piano. So I'll go down here to the mixer and do this. Or I'll just lower it. See? So it's just bass and drums. How's the mix right now? Can you guys hear okay? The drums, the mix of the guitar. Since you went away, the days grow long. I'm just doing sevenths only. Soon I'll hear winter song. Really simple, basic, and two. But I miss you most of all. I did a sharp 5. My darling, when all the leaves start to fall. I like 9s. Just going to play a little bit more with comping only. We'll diminish up. And 2, 3, 4, and really get those anticipations. And a little 9 there. And 9. Here comes that B section. Since you went away. I love the 9s. It's hard for me not to do 9s. But I miss you most of all, my darling. When autumn leaves start to 6, 9. And top. Walk with the bass. You can do that. Walk with the bass. Now I'm doing some chord melody style comping, a little bit in higher range. Is there still drop 2 voicings? Diminished up. This is just a demonstration. Here comes that B section. Turn up my guitar a little bit. Since you went away, the days grow long. Blues. Now I'm copying on the top 4 strings. These are the drop 2 voicings that I love for chord melody. Diminished sub. Hours of fun. Sharp 5, minor 9. Since you went away, days grow long. Sometimes I have to keep it voice leading. Keep in motion. Sharp 5. Oh, winter song. Major 7 here. Minor 11. Flat 5. Augmented. Chromatic walk down. Tritone sub. Tritone sub. I'm going to talk about this. Hear that cliche? This. The voice leading. Tritone sub. Here comes the B section. Since you went away, diminished. The days grow long, total. But soon I'll hear sus. Miss you most of all, my darling. When autumn leaves start to fall. Walk the bass. That's what I've been talking about recently, is walk the bass while you're soloing. So you kind of start off like you're walking bass line. Really, Junior? That's awesome. Let's walk together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. And then you can target thirds, fifths. You know, it's a little game to walk the bass like that. It's really fun. Then you can add chords. These are all on the PDFs. I'm just giving you an overview. You do arpeggios. Hear that little cliche in there too, that little voice leading. It's really nice to get those things in. And another thing that I love to do is what I call chord exploring. Is I like to kind of not necessarily just do chord melody, but it's kind of like chord melody, but it's kind of doing this type of thing. And I've demonstrated this many of my other lessons on different songs, from How Insensitive or Black Orpheus and whatever songs, 1625. And actually really the best demonstration is on 1625, where I did this. I say create a melody, a chromatic line or a diatonic line over the chord progression. So C major, A7, D minor 7, G7 sharp 5, C major 7, A7 sharp 5, D minor 11. That's not chromatic. G7 flat 9. And I'm just creating a movement. It's a really beautiful approach. Jim Hall did this quite a bit too. Just where you're really thinking a lot about voice leading. It's very kind of arranged and orchestral. So if you think about that with Autumn Leaves, for example, this is again an overview because I've got all those PDFs on there for you, but I want to talk about tritone sub and diminished sub. So if you think about that with Autumn Leaves, I might start with A minor 11, D7, and all the action is happening on the second string. I'm going to try to be chromatic, see what happens, because chromatic lines are just beautiful. So it creates this tension. So A minor 11, that's the first chord. The next word is D7, but I'm going to do D7 flat 9. And one of the rules that I'm kind of sticking with is to have the root in the bass instead of doing inversions. So this is going to be G major 13. Next one, C major 7 with the sus4 is not a very pleasant sound. So I'll do sharp 11. That's a D triad sus C. And then F sharp minor 7 flat 5. I'll do that. Or I might put the flat 9 in there for some tension. And then B7 flat 9, or B7. And then E minor. So I'm going to play that without talking, that little route. See what happens. 1, 2, 3. Downward. Same chord here. Inversion. E minor 7 to 6. Maybe here. another really nice thing to do is to keep one note constant, like a pedal tone. So let's take this E note here on the second string. So for A minor 7, that's a fifth. And then for D7, that's a D9. Now for G major 7, G major is going to be the 6, but I'm going to have the 7 in there. So now it's called G major 13 because we have the major 7. So the 6 is now called the 13. So that's G major 13, not G dominant 13. Not that. Okay, so this has a major 7. So check out that 2-5-1 here. And of course, C major 7. Now F sharp minor 7 flat 5, I could do this. Now this could be a B7, the sus. And then I probably want to go, and then back to E minor. So that's a nice, really nice kind of tension building pedal tone. Now, how about this note, G? This is sus. This is G major, I'll do 7. C major 7. This is F sharp half dim, but I'm going to put the G in there. B7 sharp 5. E minor 7. Sharp 9. Now I could do the A. Here's A minor 7. D7 flat 9. G major 9. This is a really beautiful way of comping that you might not have thought about, keeping that pedal tone. G, C major 13 with grip shapes. Essentially grip shapes. I mean, you're modifying them and you're going to come up with some cool chords that you might not have thought about. But that's the beauty of it. F sharp half dim. B7 flat 9 or B7. Put that C in there. And then E minor 11. And then E. Ooh, that's a nice note. That's the 9. 13. Third of each chord. I'm just naming major 7. This is the 11. This is the root. E minor. And then flat 9. Ooh, I like that. Might be my favorite one. With that minor 9. 13. Major 7. This is keeping that B steady. C major 7 like that. So anyways, it's a little game that you get to play for comping and creating some beautiful, that's what I generally call like chord exploring, is that you get to create these lines, or sometimes it's an inner voice leading, as I was demonstrating. James, welcome. Junior, welcome. Oh wait, I already said hello. Junior Chan on the bass. Junior Walker. No, it's not Junior Walker. Well, hey, thanks for joining me. What else are we going to talk about? Let's talk about tritone sub. Let's talk about the two subs that are the most common: diminished substitution and tritone substitution. 2-5-1s especially. This is when you use it really. So on the A minor 7, if we're going to use a dim 7 sub on the D7, instead of D7, we play A diminished 7. Of course, A diminished 7 is the same as F sharp diminished 7, C diminished 7, E flat diminished 7. It could be 4 diminished 7 names, and that's why you can do this. Guitar players love that. So what I didn't attach to this particular link is all my inversion studies for autumn leaves. Highly recommend the top 4 strings, all that great magic shape, the diminished sub, tritone sub. That's all on the chord inversion studies. But this is more about comping today instead of chord soloing. But again, with comping, check this out: A minor 7. Now for the D7, we're just going to play A dim 7. We just diminish it, and then G major 7, and then C major 7. These are all just grip shapes here: drop 3, drop 2, voicings respectively. F sharp half dim, and instead of the B7, we're going to diminish it. So the trick is this: whenever you have a 2-5 chord progression, hopefully a 2-5-1, especially because it's going to resolve, you play the 2 with the root, the lowest note, right? We could do it in an inversion as well, but right now I'm showing you with the roots. You play the 2, so A minor 7, and then we're going to diminish it, A diminished 7, for the D7. So again, this is a great concept for soloing too. That's where I'm always, many of you know my videos, of course, I'm saying diminish it. whether it's playing arpeggios or for chords. A minor 7, diminish it. G major 7, C major 7. F sharp half diminish is a 2-5, so we know we could diminish it. E minor 7. Then I like to put an E7 here, and that's to take us back to the A minor for the first A only. Or this, you can do it in the bass. So check it out now with the diminished sub for the first A section. And this song is great because the B section is just like the A section but reverse. Diminish it. Ready? Now I'm on the top 4 strings. And the top 4 strings is not different than the 5th string root, by the way. Just to show you this, G major 7 is this, in case you didn't know that. G major 7 like this is also this. See, same sound, same exact sound. It's a little bit brighter on the top 4 strings with the plain steel strings on there. Same voicing. So those are the drop 2 voicings here. This is drop 3 voicing here. So sometimes I kind of blend them all depending on where I'm at on the fretboard too. Okay. C major 7, F sharp half diminish, fully dim, and E minor, E7. Okay. Let's talk about tritone substitution here. Tritone sub. So diminished sub, by the way, is number 1 on my list for substitutions, especially for chord soloing, chord for soloing in general, 2/5. Tritone sub, you're taking another dominant chord a tritone away from the primary dominant that you see on the chart, the paper, and you put another dominant chord a tritone away, 3 whole tones away. Doesn't matter which direction because it's all equal from the chromatic scale of the 12 notes. So it doesn't matter if you go up 3 whole tones or 3 whole tones below. It's still going to be the same note. So for D7, A flat 7. You call it G sharp 7. I call it A flat 7. Flat 5 generally. So that's a sub. Why does that work? Because they share the same third in the flat 7. They actually invert so if you do this with me here, D7, I'm going to do it as a 3-note shape. Root, third, flat 7, okay, of the D7. Now if I did the tritone sub with A flat 7, root, flat 7, 3. So these 2 notes stayed the same and they are a tritone away. Those are the important notes. You can add different flavors and colors around it as much as you want. But it's also another beautiful aspect is the bass line movement. That's why I was saying tritone substitution is especially nice when it is 2-5-1 because you get this 2-5-1. You get that chromatic movement, the bass line movement. Okay, of course we can do it. We can do it up high too. There's still going to be that chromaticism on where your voice line. But right now I'm demonstrating with the bass line. A minor 7. So instead of D7 or D9, I'm going to go to A flat 7. I'm also adding the 13 on, which if you put the D back in there, that's a D7 sharp 9. D7 flat 9, that'd be like A flat 7. So again, D9, that's a sharp 5 on the A flat. So it all works beautifully. You're going to get all these beautiful colors and tension notes. But again, I do like the 13th quite a bit like this. And now instead of C major 7, I'm going to go to C major 9 for fun. F sharp half dim down here. And again, I'm going to go to F13. That's like going B7 sharp 9. It's dark, it's tritone. That's a little E minor, add 9. Check it out, 3, 4. The autumn leaves, red and gold. Oh, tritone sub. For that turnaround, instead of E7, to pull us back to A minor, you do tritone B flat 7. And here I'm going to do B flat 7, flat 5. So check out the first 8 bars. And this is on that worksheet, by the way. On that worksheet that I posted in the link in the description, it shows a 3-note voicings. But here I'm doing 4 notes. Tritone. B flat 7. So again, that's the beauty of tritone substitution. It creates a walk down bass, 2-5-1 chromatic. And again, you can do that with your arpeggios too. So I really recommend whatever you do with your chords, do it with your soloing to get used to applying these substitutions. And then again, I have a lot of this materials, especially for autumn leaves, all these inversions on the top 4 strings. Hey, I'm going to take a look at the comments, see who else is here. Type in the chat if you're here. Appreciate the thumbs up if you enjoy my live streams. Sometimes I put a little tip jar in there. I'm not doing that today, but if you do feel like tipping for any particular reason, I'm not opposed to it. So tritone sub, the next thing I want to talk about is, so we talked about these. Simon, great to see you. We talked about the basic grip chords. We talked about drop 2, drop 3 voicings, what the grip chords, diminished sub, tritone sub. I want to talk about, this might not be as, you might not be thinking about this as much, but just 2-note voicings, just the guide tones, the 3rd and the 7th, or the 6s even. So, and this is on that worksheet, one of the worksheets there, by the way. I've got another one too, but it shows it on the comping study. So what I mean by that is you can just get rid of the bass and just do this. The autumn leaves, red and gold. I see your lips, the summer kisses, the sunburned hands. I'm still just following the it used to hold. And then this, now you're gonna start to connect it into your melodies. So you can start to do that for your soloing, chord soloing, and just kind of having some fun playing really simple lines and just these little chord 2, 5, 1, 4, 2, 5, 1. So get used to those patterns. I also have this study written out for Satin Doll, which is another great study, just these 2-5. Those are just the 2-note shapes. Typically called, those are the guide tones. And again, I also have a nice little solo written out on Patreon if you want to grab it, guide tone solo for autumn leaves. Just connecting, showing you how to think about connecting those lines. And again, it's all about just visualizing where those guide tones are. It's a very efficient and economical way of soloing and playing the changes without having to feel like you have to navigate through the whole arpeggio, but you're hitting the important notes and you're catching what's changing, the chord changes. So that's a little spiel there on 2-note chord shapes and also the guide tones in general for soloing. Oftentimes I talk about target tones too. Are there any other questions? We got some walking bass. That PDF really does have a lot. I talk about like the chord subs that I like to do, and I know I talked about this before, so I don't want to be a broken record because I know many of you have seen that. But when I see that A minor 7, I also think C6, D7, F sharp dim. See, I'm using the dim substitution. G major 7, G/B, C major 7, C major 7/E. F sharp half dim is equal to A minor 6. B7, use a diminished sub, and then E minor 6/9. So check out that this kind of a 2-feel bass where I'm going root third of each chord, but I'm using some of these and harmonic respelling, aka inversions, and or the diminished sub, especially. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes I go up high. Then you can walk quarter notes. So one thing I did on that turnaround there, gotta smooth out my nail here, is that E minor on like E minor 7, F sharp dim, G6, G sharp dim to the A minor. So it's kind of a nice little walk up there. For you Barry Harris fans, yes, that Barry Harris like this. It's the Barry Harris method of taking those chords and putting the diminished in between the non-chord tones, okay? So that's a really nice way to connect the dots if you want to do that. So check out that study there if you are still connecting A minor 7 to C6, G major 7, or your inversions too. For the major 7, I like this a lot, quite a bit. G major 7, then I go to G major 7/B. I love that. Sometimes I'll just do B minor 7. I'll be a little bit lazy. It's a different chord, but this is just an inversion. Say it, G major 7, G major 7/B. Dark, it's beautiful, but look at how that leads you right to C. Then I'm going to do it up here. I'm going to stay completely on the 6th string for this demonstration. A minor 7. You can rewind this later. C6, D7, F sharp dim, G major 7, G major 7/B, C major 7, C major 7/B, F sharp half dim, same thing as A minor 6, B7, diminished, D sharp, E minor 9, maybe the walk up. Drive by my window, the autumn leaves of red and gold. I see your lips. So that's the 2 feel there, just boom, boom, just connecting the dots. That also works really beautifully for Fly Me to the Moon. If you're a Fly Me to the Moon fan. Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. A minor 7, C6, D minor 7, F6, G7, G7/B, C major 7. I do E half diminished there because I wanted to go to F, F/A. You get the idea. So it's just again going root 3rd. I love that as a 2 feel to go. It's very melodic, especially when you have these songs that go through that cycle of fourths, meaning A, D, G, C, F, B. Like look at how the guitar is tuned in fourths. A, D, G, C, F, B, E, A. That's the first 8 bars right there of Fly Me to the Moon. Almost, well, we could do Autumn Leaves too. There I went high, but they're just connecting the roots again, using the guitar, the 4th tuning system, except for these 2 strings, obviously, we're in 3rds here. Well, hey, thanks so much, guys. I got to get ready for my gig, but I just wanted to do this live stream for fun on Autumn Leaves comping. There's so much materials on Patreon, and hopefully you've got some ideas out of this, or from the demonstrations. I would say really explore, once you get those grip shapes down, explore melodic comping, chord exploring. I call it that, melodic comping, take a note and try to just work through the progression, think about the second string or maybe the top string, and try to find some beautiful melodies in there that isn't just the tune. Obviously learn chord melody too. And let me know in the comments what you think of this. Don't forget to do this if you enjoy it, and we'll see you all next time. Definitely let me know on Patreon members know. Give me any song requests you want me to hit, chord melodies, etudes, whatever. Feel free to do that. Graham, thanks. Great to see you. We gotta catch up, Graham. And everybody have a good weekend. I'll talk to you soon. If not, see you this weekend. Cheers.